I mean, how physically, emotionally, you're okay. What made you, I want to ask you why you decided to kind of go through with this, being like a former tennis player and businessman, and please.
No, there's no given reason why,
Mm-hmm.
honestly, and there's no right choice in the situation which I was.
Mm-hmm.
I felt that I need to do it because I was scared. Well, I still have family here. My father and my brother are still here. On top of that, I know that the Russian basically is willing or wishing to destroy the country in general. They want to wipe out Ukraine in the history books and just not to have it at all. So I can't really tell you why. I didn't have even a plan when I was coming in.
Really?
I was just I felt the need that I need to be here. Of course, from some points it's hard to understand, and for me it's also hard to understand. I have 3 kids, I have a wife, I have no problems in life whatsoever. So it is tough, but I made the decision and I'll have to live with it. And I just hope I can get back to my kids and first place.
No, it's incredible what you're doing, and at least in the tennis community, it came as we understood why you did it. And was there anyone else that kind of, did you tell people and they were surprised by it, or surprised by the response?
I didn't tell anyone. I just basically did it. I mean, I didn't make it the time coming back. I just the biggest issue was actually to talk through with a wife and family and make her understand. The rest I didn't really care whether the world would know that I come back or not. It just unfolded that way that I got a platform from which I can say things that the world's to see and to understand why are we doing this. I mean, it was never planned that it's going to happen that way. It just happened.
It's unreal, kind of seeing that reality and that shock that you must have felt when you first joined and started talking about it and sharing your story. I know you just did a episode with Craig in his podcast, but I wanted to actually ask you about the tennis side of it with the Russian Federation. And I talked to another Ukrainian earlier this week, Orlov, about his experience while playing on tour still. And I wanted to get your take on what the ATP or WTA is doing when they removed the Russian flags from these players.
I think that's a step which was necessary.
Mm-hmm.
I think you have to put a collective guilt on the nation for the actions of their leader. Unfortunately, it is the way it is. When Hitler was destroying Europe and the world, nobody cared whether it was just the German. All the Germans collectively were guilty. But in fact, we are not far from what was happening in 1939. It's pretty much the same thing. So I do understand that it is tough on the tennis players because none of the young ones live inside Russia. They even didn't vote, I guess, at a certain point. They grow up outside of Russia. They became tennis stars outside of Russia with zero support from Russian Federation or not the major support, but definitely not Medvedev. And I understand that for them, they might feel that it's unfair, and maybe it is unfair, but there's no other means to stop Russia and the president from doing what they're doing. They need to be accountable for what they've done. And the only ways to make it happen is to make Russians feel guilty and make them rethink of how they vote and who is governing them. Because at the end of the day, if they feel they're a democracy, then the only power is laying within the people, and they delegate their right by voting. Or maybe they should vote better. If they want to live the benefits of a normal life, study abroad, being able to travel, use all the technology which is available in the world, they need to rethink things they're doing.
It's shocking to think that this has happened in general. And I actually thought about this if players have dual citizenship or a Russian they're Russian and they might be something else. Do you think a player would ever switch nationalities if they had the chance with the current situation?
Yeah, a little bit of shame for being a Russian. It is. And it's a fact. but nobody tells it in the years to come it's going to be the same. I mean, Germans are pretty proud of themselves, and they have a history which was disgraceful. It's just you have to go through this period. You have to understand that there was mistakes made, and once you accept those, we're not that far yet to even start to consider of what they should have done if they have a dual citizenship. No, I'm saying that we're not that far for them even to consider about the dual citizenship and what if they would do.
Okay.
I mean, the work still at present. It's not in the future or in the past. It's at present.
For you, talking about the present, you were reached out by Novak, and someone posted about that. I believe it was you, about his reaching out. And talk us through that. What was it like to have him kind of show you support amidst everything going on?
But there was not only him. There was hundreds of players who reached out, men and women, different countries, all over the world, and all of my peers. And yes, I put out Novak because I know that his voice makes a difference. Rightfully, I should have put everybody who reached out, and there was hundreds of players, really present and past and retired. And you know, I need to make an impact. I'm trying to use my platform to make an impact, to make a change, to people to understand that there is a war. It's not a conflict. It's not controlled. They don't target military objects, and they're targeting civilians. They're killing civilians. They're shelling civilian cities. They're killing civilians cold blood on the streets just because they want to make them fear and run. It's disgrace. It's barbaric what's going on. And I'm trying to do whatever I can, whether it's through the media, with defending my city, whatever it means necessary.
And once, and I'll finish up with this question because I don't want to take up too much of your time. What's the first thing, once this is all over, what's the first thing you're going to do when you get home?
I'm going to go home to get my kids.
That's it.
And I'm not going to leave them again.
I love it. Well, Sergiy, thank you so much for doing this, and we really appreciate you having you on, and good luck. Stay safe. Our prayers and thoughts are with you.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Thanks. Bye.